Intel and Nokia team up. The iPhone 3GS launches in even more countries, and the world's fastest texter is crowned. All that news and more on this week's World Tech Update. Thanks for joining us here on World Tech Update. I'm Nick Barber. Summer is here, so we're outside in Boston on top of the IDG global headquarters here in Copley Square. Topping our news this week is Sharp. On Wednesday, the U.S. International Trade Commission issued a decision that blocks the U.S. import of LCD panels and LCD televisions made by Sharp, ruling that the company violated a patent held by rival Samsung Electronics. The exclusion order blocks Sharp and other companies from importing LCD panels that use the technology without a license from Samsung. A Sharp spokeswoman said the company is considering an appeal, but that Sharp TVs will remain on sale as normal in the U.S., pending an appeal decision. Intel and Nokia announced this week that they'll be teaming up to develop new mobile computing devices and chipset architectures. The relationship is a big win for Intel, which is trying to establish itself in the mobile device market dominated by processors designed by rival ARM. ARM chips go into most of the world's cell phones. The iPhone, for example, uses a chip based on ARM's Cortex-A8 architecture. Handsets from Nokia already use ARM chips. The technology agreement for now will revolve around the companies working together on Intel chip and chipset architectures from which the devices will be created. Apple reported in its opening weekend that the iPhone 3GS sold more than 1 million units. Our friends at PC World took the iPhone through its stress test, this time with real-world scenarios. Let's take a look.
And first up is voice control.
We're here with Caroline. She's a foreign language speaker. She speaks Irelandish, and she's going to test the voice control feature using a Dublin accent.
Play Artist Best of Beethoven.
Playing songs by Asia Duo.
Play U2 The Unforgettable Fire.
Calling 820-7050.
Play artist Rihanna.
Playing songs by Madonna.
Not Madonna, Rihanna.
On Friday, June 26, the phone launched in even more countries, including Austria, Australia, Belgium, Ireland, Japan, and the Netherlands. These are scenes from the Tokyo launch. Lines were shorter than last year, but enthusiasm among those waiting in line was just as high. The phone went on sale at 7 a.m., and this is the Apple Store in Tokyo's Ginza. The iPhone 3GS will launch in even more countries in July and August. The iPhone wasn't the only big news for Apple this week. CEO Steve Jobs returned to work following a liver transplant 2 months ago. Jobs took a leave of absence from Apple in January, citing undisclosed health concerns. So you think you can text fast? Well, the world's fastest and most accurate texter was crowned at the LG U.S. National Texting Championship. Kate Moore, a 15-year-old from Iowa, won $50,000 US and beat more than 250,000 participants nationwide.
I'm about to just fall apart, and I just won $50,000, and oh my God, I can't comprehend it. I'm just so thankful of everyone that put this together and everyone that made everything happen, and I'm just feeling amazing.
Moore texted this phrase perfectly in under 60 seconds. Contestants had to use the new LG NV3 phone, which features a full QWERTY keypad. HTC tried to grab some of the cellular spotlight this week with the unveiling of its latest touchscreen phone. The HTC Hero runs Google's Android and features the ability to completely customize the user interface. The customization, called HTC Sense, will become standard across the entire HTC product line. The phone also features a 3.2-inch screen, 5-megapixel camera, and a GPS. Launch is planned in Europe for July and the rest of the world by year's end. At last week's Intel Research Day in Mountain View, California, we were on hand to see some of the developments coming out of the hardware giant. First up was a wireless speaker that receives not only audio without wires, but power as well.
So this is the transmitter, and for example, this could be installed in a wall, and then devices that are receiving power, such as laptops or cell phones, would have a receive element on it. So there's clearly work that we're still doing to scale this down to make that viable for a cell phone and a laptop.
Intel also showcased its automotive technology. Car-based computers running Intel's latest Atom processor allow passengers to interact with the web and each other through Wi-Fi. Outside the vehicle, communications through traffic lights and automotive-mounted lighting known as VLC allows cars and traffic signals to interact with each other.
Another scenario is car-to-car communication, and what we see there is basically you're driving down the road, I'm following too closely to you. Your tail light can send information to my headlight, it basically tells me to slow down or back off. If I choose not to do so or overlook that, the car can actually do a brake assist and brakes for you.
On Tuesday, Lenovo announced its newest model in its ThinkPad line, the T400s, which are designed to bring corporate users thin and light laptops with good performance. The keyboard layout was changed to bring the keys closer together so that crumbs can't get under them. The touchpad also got some enhancements that include multi-touch capabilities. T400s come with an Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz processor, LED backlit screen, 120 gigabytes of hard drive space, 2 gigs of RAM, DVD burner, and Windows Vista Business. They're available now starting at $1,600 US. Right here in Boston this week, corporate social networking took center stage at Enterprise 2.0. Microsoft showed off 2 new products called Salsa and Valves, which helps to organize your contacts from Outlook and then use that information to filter your emails and files.
What we'll do is we will sort of create a side pane, and you will have a little photo, and if you type someone's name in, for instance over here you'll see Shane, and if I typed Shane's name in, you would see a photo for him, and underneath that you'd see some SharePoint files that he's sharing with other members in the organization, and you might also see recent emails that you've shared with him, and you would also see his quote friends, which are just people he's emailed most frequently or most recently.
There's no word on when Salsa will be commercialized. Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for joining us here on World Tech Update. Next week, my colleague Martin Williams will be hosting from Tokyo, so be sure to tune in for all the latest tech news. To find out what's coming up on each week's show, follow us on Twitter and check out our Facebook fan page. I'm Nick Barber, and for all of us here at the IDG News Service, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next week.